Okay, all right then. So, greetings and welcome. My name is Nigel Mayo, and welcome to my channel called Salad Queen Boy. Now, there's been a question a lot of people have been asking, why is this channel about mental health? And it's called Salad Queen Boy. One simple answer. Very, very long time ago in a galaxy far away, a friend of mine created a email address for me called salacreamboy at blah blah blah. Um, One of the things that has really got me down about my name being Nigel Mayo is the fact that people keep calling me Nigel Mayonnaise and Nigel Mance or whatever. And there's a lot of stuff which it's not really very creative, and it just really, really got me down. It's really, really bad for me. So one day, a guy called Greg created this email address called salacreamboy at blah blah blah, and I thought, okay, it's a bit different, and um, yeah, I really like it. It just shows a bit more thought and a bit creativity. Still taking a piss out of me, but at least he's thought about it. And to be quite honest with you, it's kind of stuck, and I really like it. So here we are. And that was a good 10, 15, 20 years ago. Absolutely no idea, but it's a long time. So, Greg, wherever you are, if you watch now, thank you very much. Anyway, so if you're finding me for the first time, my name's Nigel Mayo, and this channel is dedicated to improving the mental state of the viewers of the channel. Now, when I started this channel, it's mostly for people who have anxiety and depression. And the thing is, though, considering what's going on right now. Oh, by the way, before I go on, someone comment. Can you just tell me what the audio's like, because I'm getting a bit of feedback. Can anyone else tell me if the audio is okay? Wifey, if you can tell me as well. So, yeah, if you're finding me for the first time, this channel is to promote mental well-being and the promotion of getting your mental state up to scratch. Because you know what, at the end of the day, apart from it's getting dark, with all this pandemic and everything, everyone needs a bit of a boost at the moment. So when I started this channel, it was actually in the middle of the first pandemic, the first lockdown. So I thought, look, people's spirits really, really need to be lifted right now, more than any. So here I am. Uh, Excellent. Thank you, Courtney. So there's a couple of things I want to address. It may not be a longer stream as normal. I'm gonna see if I can keep it to an hour. But if anyone wants to make a comment, so one of the main purposes of this live stream is to get people interacting. So if you're alone, like, okay, if my wife wasn't here, I'd be here by myself in my apartment, and I'd literally have nothing to do, and I'd just be with my own thoughts, which is one of the worst things to be around. So if you are in that situation right now, just send us a joke, send us your thoughts, send us something positive, send us, I don't know, something good that's happening in your life, ask a question. If there's any links I can provide within the chat that you're after, which you may not be able to help yourself. Because I work in the NHS, I have access to various stuff. So there might be things that I have that you may have not thought about. Just let me know in the comments below what you might need, and I will honestly do the best that I can. Now, that being said, I'm not a GP, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist or anything like that. I'm literally just a bloke who's gone through a lot of stuff, and I'm using that to help other people. That is literally it. Now, there's two things that I could do. Either I could let it get to me and just let it take over my life and just let it be the death of me, or I can use it to help others. And the thing is, when you've been through so much, what you really need to do, well, what I've done is what you do to that hurt is just grab it and say, not on my watch. And the best thing you can do is, if you can't help yourself, then help others. And that's just what I want to do with this channel. If I can just help one person with all this, my job is done and I'm happy and I can sleep at night. Because if I can't do anything myself, at least someone's got the benefits of my experience. That's all I want to do here. So the first thing I want to do is do an announcement, which I've done in my previous streams, and there's a video out about it. If anyone wants to go into my channel, Salad Cream Boy with BOI at the end. You look through my videos and you find something that says something along the lines of Doctor Who competition, £20 Amazon gift voucher. So what the deal is that I'm on, I believe, 45 subscribers right now. Now, I know that's not a lot, but all the subscribers that I have, regardless of whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 43, 44, 45, 99, 100, 1,000, million subscribers, every single one, I appreciate every single one of you. And not only my subscribers, but anyone who watches my videos, anyone who watches my videos for any length of time, because it all helps. It all helps towards the algorithm. So I just want to say an honest, from the bottom of my heart, an absolute sincere thank you. So I want to give something back to someone. So what I'm going to do, I haven't got it yet. So I'm going to get a £20 Amazon gift voucher. And when I say £25, I mean that could convert to any country. So, for example, if you're in the United States of America, that would most likely convert to something like $30. So instead of getting a £20 gift voucher, I'll get a $20 gift voucher. Or if it's in rupees or it's in euros or whatever, I'll get the equivalent of whatever it is. So no worries about that. So the idea of the competition is that if what I'll do, I'll get my camera a little bit up a bit. So I am a Doctor Who fan, and if you can't tell by my t-shirt, a little bit of a TARDIS there. The idea of the competition is that I need testimonies, because I'm going to release a video at the end of the month on the 28th of March to show the speech from Peter Capaldi in the 9th series, I believe, called the Zygon Inversion. And it's not necessarily a speech that you think it's to do with mental health. It's more about war and trying to end stuff and political and all that. But what I want to try and do, and it's not with just Doctor Who, it's about many things, like, I don't know, Shawshank Redemption, Inside Out, and various other things. I want to derive the positivity and all the stuff that would help you mentally within those speeches, so you can get some good stuff out of it and some life lessons. And that's really all I want to do with that. So I want to get 5 testimonies. There might be like 10, 20, 30, 100, whatever, people trying to give me testimonies, and I'll random select those. I'll put like all of them in the bag, or get my wife to just press the up and down button on my screen and just select 5 from random. Out of those 5 that would be used on the video, I'll be putting in a hat. My wife will be selecting one of those, and that one will win the £20, $30, whatever, Amazon gift voucher. So it's just a little something that I want to say thank you to my fans. because at the end of the day, other than getting dark, we all could do with the best that we can. So regardless of if, okay, I'm working and many others might be, but if you're not, then every little helps. So again, it's just my way of giving back. So with that, if you want to check out my video that is about Doctor Who competition, it tells you everything I know. It gives you the link to the Amazon form that I've created so that you can put down uh, in text what Doctor Who has done for you over the years, whether it's something that has helped you, sorry, get my words out, whether it's helped you in general, whether it's done one specific thing, whether you've used it in a event, like for example, during my wedding, I used TARDIS on my wedding cake, or anything that it's done for you to improve your life, or whether it's had any kind of positive effects. It's just a couple of sentences or so, just to tell us what that is. And there's no information about yourselves, no name, no address, anything. It's just yourself and an email address or WhatsApp or however you want to communicate, and all of that would be confidential. Nothing could be shared with anything like Google, any other site. It will literally just be used for that competition only. Now, that form I'll be using afterwards, but anything post this competition will be completely deleted and started again with the next one. I'm hoping to do this kind of thing every month. So if you want to subscribe, and if you want any advice or tips on how to improve your mental state, if you want to have a bit more extra cash with the gift vouchers, with a chance to win, might not be 20, might be 50, depending on how well I do with this channel. It might go up, might go down, whatever. What you got to lose. Honestly, what have you got to lose? All you need to do, submit something in text. Preferably, I'll have something in audio and in video, so I can put it onto my onto the video to make it look a bit better. If you don't want to do audio, if you don't want to do video, I can do something where you just type it out. I'll get a few friends of mine just to read it out for the video, and it'll go through that way. I won't even use your first name or anything because, well, you won't be giving it me. And what I'll do once it's drawn on the 28th of this month, be March 2021, just in case you're watching this video next year or further on. What I'll do is I'll email you, WhatsApp you, or whatever it is, and I'll send that gift code to you for £20, $30, whatever, and then you can spend it however you like. And that is pretty much all it's about. So yeah, again, it's just all about giving back. And I know it's early days in my channel. I've got 45 subscribers, and there's not much to it, but out of those 45 subscribers, I just want to thank every single one of you, and I want to thank every single one of you that is watching all of my videos. Anyone who's just watching this one, anyone who's new, who is following on and just keep going from this point, it just all counts. Because if you like, subscribe, comment, or whatever to any of your content creators that you like, it all goes towards supporting the channels, and it helps us grow. Once you hit 1,000, you get monetized, you can earn money, etc., etc., and it just all helps. So everything that you guys do, just purely just watching a complete video, all helps. So for that, I just thank you. Now, at this point, I feel I'm rambling on. I just want to look at the chat for a second. Oh yeah, there's also a short about the competition. All that short is just basically telling you about it. If you want to go a few videos further on backward, then it will actually tell you the whole competition. I believe it's about 5 or 6 minutes long or something like that. So just watch that. It will have a link in the description, and just go from there. And I wish everyone the best of luck with it. Okay. Um, okay. So what I want to do today, there's a subject which I wanted to hit upon. I wanted to do this for a very long time. I'm going to do it in a lot more detail in an actual recorded video. Excuse me one moment. My mouse going dry. Oh, by the way, I'll be doing some merchandising soon. Anyone who's watching this, can you just let me know? Put a like, and if you want to have one of these, it's basically at the end of the day it gets dark. I'll be using a different firm to do these, or I'll be doing it differently, so it actually shows a lot more. It's basically my logo, and at the end of the day it gets dark with hashtag Salad Cream Boy. If you want one of those mugs, most likely I'll be selling it off for about £5 or so. Let me know, and we'll see what we can do. What I would suggest is go for my Doctor Who competition link and put in there hashtag mug. And what I do, I'll reach out to you, see if you want to buy it, and it'll most likely be about £5. I'll discuss with my wife later on tonight, tomorrow, whatever, and we'll see what we can do. And the more we get, the requests for, the more we will do, and the cheaper it might be, because when you do more orders, the cheaper it will actually be for us to buy, and the cheaper it will be for you to buy. But not only that, just to let you know, I have worn this in a couple more of my videos, and what I've got is Salad Cream Boy. At the end of the day, it gets dark, and it's a polo shirt, so collared polo shirt. Okay, it's not very coming through very well on here, but also on the back it has hashtag Salad Cream Boy. So just to get the message out there, and I just want to be able to help. I know, I get the fact that it all goes towards monetization and it's helping my bank accounts and whatever, but what I really want to do is get positivity out there in a world right now where it's absolutely, it's absolutely essential that people's spirits are lifted with COVID and pandemic and isolation and everything else. It's absolutely essential that we try and safeguard everyone's mental health. Now, that being said, so get to my list here, and this is like, high tech stuff. I want to go a few things. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to go through not the job that I have now. I work for the NHS, and it's a great job. Okay, you get a load of stick from patients and that, but you're helping people. So helping people in general, it's just one of the reasons why I created this channel, is what I want to do. So I'm not going to put anything against that. I'm going to talk about my job before that. And I apologize for that in the background. Police, ambulance, whatever, sirens. I actually live opposite a police station, and there's a hospital relatively near me, and also a fire station a bit beyond that. So I'm going to get a few sirens. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, it's something we have to deal with. In 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully I'll be moving, so that won't be an issue anymore. So let's just see how we do, right? Anyway, let's begin, shall we? So first thing I'm going to do before getting to this is tell a little joke, because, we all need a bit of comedy in our lives, and the best medicine is apparently humor. So just one little tiny joke. Actually, no, I'm actually going to tell two jokes. So last week had a bit of trouble with the neighbours. They was having a bit of a domestic. If anyone outside this country doesn't know what that means, basically man, wife, family, whatever, have an argument between themselves. It's basically domestic situation. So they was having arguments after arguments. We could hear it below the floorboards and outside the window. And so I looked outside because obviously you're curious, or you want to know what's going on. So I looked outside, and the first thing that I see is a Scrabble board being thrown outside, and it hit the road. And I had to shout out there because this is getting ridiculous. So I had to shout out there, "Look here, what's going on here?" And said nothing, 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 nothing. It says, no, 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 there's something going on. I want to, because obviously they threw a Scrabble table out onto the road. I want to know, so what's the word on the street? So you can add that to your dad jokes. You know, if any of you feel the urge to slap me in the face, please do so, and hashtag slap Nigel in the face. Anyone who wants to comment, please do that. I just want to know that you're out there. Anyway, so the second one is, I've told this job before, but anyone who's new here. So out of all the little pigs, there's 3 little pigs that go to a meal together. So they get the menus. They want to have a 3-course meal. The first one says, okay, for the starter, I'll have chicken tikka bites. And the waiter says, okay, you're a pig, so that's a bit weird, but okay, no problem. The second one says, can I have a Caesar salad? The waiter says, no problem. Third one says, okay, can I have water and lots of it? And the waiter thinks, okay, we got a cheap ass here, so okay, no problem. So they wait a bit. They get the first bit. They get the appetizers, or whatever you call them. Okay, no problem. So they get the menu for the main courses, and the first little pig says, okay, I want the lamb shank. Again, being a pig, the waiter thinks, okay, weird. The second one says, I want pangas and mash. And the waiter says, okay, still weird, you being a pig, but if you want to do this kind of thing, then, who am I to judge? So, okay, no problem, goes to the order. Third little pig, okay, I want water and lots of it. And the waiter thinks, okay, look, this guy's being really cheap. I don't like this. Getting a bit curious about the situation, but he's doing his job, so whatever. So it goes away, gets food, pigs eat it, no problem. So dessert menu comes around. So the first little pig says, okay, I want chocolate fudge cake. Waiter says, fine. Second one says, okay, I want profiteroles. Waiter says, fine. Third little piggy says, okay, I want water and lots of it. And the waiter says, oh, okay, come on, this is getting ridiculous now. Done the whole thing. Are you not hungry or anything? Are you just wasting my time? Because, water costs nothing. What's going on here? And it says, I would order something like food wise, but thing is, I've got to order water because I've got to go wee all the way home. Again, not the best joke I've got in my arsenal, but whatever. Any dad jokes. Okay. So, what I want to cover here is something in my past job. Now, I want to do this in a positive way. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to get too dark with this or anything. All I'm going to do is mention it in such a way that highlights lessons that I learned to hopefully help you guys, as opposed to, oh, woe is me, woe is Nigel, oh my god, let's just feel for him, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to do this in the case of, hopefully it will help you if you come into this situation yourselves. Okay. uh Okay. Okay, what I do need to do here is read a comment that's come through again from my wife, so thank you, Courtney. And it says, what does deja vu mean? Sorry, my son asked me, what does deja vu mean? I says, I have a feeling you asked me this before. Again, dad joke. But what I want to know is, Courtney, do you remember the joke I told you about Alzheimer's? Bet you can't. Anyway, so getting to this, okay, so the point of me telling you about this kind of stuff is try and get the positives and cherry pick the good stuff about it. So in my last job, I traveled all around the country doing stock taking, and I knew this guy who drove me around, and also this guy who navigated to a point. But in the end, there was a GPS there, so there was not really much point in doing that to a point. Now, I'm not going to say no point because when the GPS failed, he's very good at getting us where he wants to go. Just mannerisms weren't the best. Now, the guy who drove us, in the start, it's like he took me on his wing, protege and stuff. But over the years, I kind of felt, and I had various comments about it, that I was his carer, that he just basically used me to get what he wanted. In the case of whenever everyone else left the car when we get to our destination, because a lot of the time we stayed away and we just want to get into the hotel room, settle down, relax and stuff. But there was like a mug to help him get the stuff out of the car, make sure the GPS is navigated for the next journey and stuff like that. And it took a good 10-20 minutes, and not just the jobs that we had while I was away, the jobs when they were local as well. And the time that I spent with him doing that kind of stuff, I could literally walk to the place that we needed to get to, just chill for a bit, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, and just chill before we actually start work. So it took a while. And whenever this guy didn't get what he wanted, he got very nasty. But unfortunately, because I needed him to get to work, I just went through with it. And I suffered a lot over the years because there's a lot that he'd say that I'm doing wrong and everything I suggested was wrong, blah blah, and he's the one has to be right. And I just basically said, yes, sir, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir, and just went along with it. He wasn't my boss. In the actual job itself, he was my boss. He was normal. He was my level, but because he was my way to get to work, I had to. I was basically a I was what do you call the audience? What do you call that audience when you can't get away from them? Captive audience. So there came a point where, look, regardless of how submissive someone is, no matter how nervous someone is, no matter how anxious someone is, let me tell you something. Even though you might not find it now, if there's someone in your life that you can't say no to, let me just say this. There will be one point in your life where you will reach your limit. You may not feel like it. You might feel like you can go on this forever, that you don't really have any choice to, but let's just say this. Every single person on the planet, to a point, I'm not going to say it for everyone, to a point, has a choice whether to be submissive or to be proactive. Now, I was submissive to a point where, okay, I actually got into a situation where someone else could take me to work, and I had to force myself out of the situation I was in. And thankfully, um, I didn't really have the guts to do it myself, but thankfully the situation presented itself where this person thought they're not really driving that well, so they would just want to quit the job and stuff, that it's not safe. And I could get to someone who actually lives a lot closer to me, even though I get to work earlier, was one of the supervisors. Um, it worked out a lot better for the main part. But basically, once that guy left, oh my god, things got so much easier. And I just wish I had the courage to go to him about it before. Because, if something is affecting your life that much, I was, I'm not ashamed to say it being a bloke. I'm not ashamed to say it that I've actually cried wet before he picked me up. I was that nervous about getting to the car with him that didn't know what was going to happen next. And even though I knew nothing physical would happen, like he wouldn't punch me or anything. I mean, he was like 60, 70, whatever. But mental health is so much more of an equal, if not worse, than physical health. Physical health you can get over, bruises heal, broken bones get mended, and all that. But okay, let me put it this way. There's a saying on Star Trek Voyager from the EMH, the Emergency Medical Hologram, and because he was a hologram and nothing could touch him if he didn't want it to, he said, sticks and stones won't break my bones. So you can imagine how I feel about being called names. And you know what? Names hurt forever if they're done frequently enough and done in such a way that it upsets you enough. They can last a lot longer than any physical wound. So yeah, it's just something to take on. So anyway, I'm getting to a point here. If someone is making your life so difficult, even though they might have the best intentions in the world, if it's getting to you that if it's getting to you that much, gotta confront it. And I'm saying this to myself, not just you guys, because I still have that problem. I've got anxiety as much as anyone. The reason I started this channel is because I'd rather use the lessons that I learned. Even though I don't use them for myself, I'd rather it helps someone. So here we are. So if someone is affecting you in such a way that you can't perform your job and it's keeping you awake at night, something has got to be done. Even if your manager doesn't want to do it yourself. And even if it's a case that you've got to tell them, not necessarily in a work environment, outside of work, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has got to be in a pub or anything like that. Not that you can go to a pub in our current situation, but if you just leave the workplace, like just outside the back door or something, says, look here, you are making my life an absolute nightmare. Stop it. No matter how right you feel, no matter how much you think you're helping the world, you don't know how many hearts you're breaking. You no matter how many screams that's going on at night. And there are. So no matter how you right you are, you just don't know what's going on. So please, please stop it. And then once you've done that, you've got the upper hand. Because once you've actually done something, even though it doesn't stop the problem, you can say to yourself, okay, head held high, I've done my bit, and they're still not. And once they don't stop, that's when they absolutely become a bully. That's when you go to your supervisor, manager, whoever, and say, look here, can't do this. I've done this behind closed doors and nothing's happening. Oh, by the way, anyone in the UK, I don't know whether I should be promoting this or not, but if you want to do GPs behind closed doors every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. GMT. I won't be on every episode, but I will be on some. It's about GPs talking to patients and what goes on in reception as well behind closed doors, what you may not see in the waiting rooms. It's a good watch. I highly suggest it. So anyway, there are a few other points I want to make here. So one of the things that this guy used to do is give me a load of life lessons. When I say that, it's lessons that he learned or the books he used to read. And okay, that's fair enough, but he didn't practice what he preached, which is one of the things that really guts here, because he said never react and stuff like that. Yet when there's something that he didn't like, he used to do it all the time. If he didn't get something 100% his way. So my point is from that, if you have someone in your life that is just preaching to you, and it can be in church, it can be in your working life, it could be in your family life, it could be a friend, it could be a lover, whoever. If someone's preaching to you and it's really getting to you, here's the thing. This is something where cherry picking comes into it. If anyone doesn't know what cherry picking is, it's basically you pick your favorite things out of something. So if you go into a field and you want to pick a load of cherries, you pick the best ones out of them. So even though there might be a load of bollocks that might be said to you, there might be some good stuff. Now, regardless of whether that person acts upon it themselves or not, doesn't necessarily mean that that advice is not good or not valid. It just means that they have made an active choice, or they don't see the way that they're acting and they're just not acted upon it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't take their advice to heart and you don't use it to the positive betterment of your own character. So that's what I've got to say about that. And the thing is, look, if they're being that much of a pain in the backside in your life and they're being the bully or whatever it is, even though they're giving you some good stuff, look, you do not owe them anything. Just because they've given you a load of good stuff doesn't necessarily mean that the bad things that they do to you, the bad things that they say to you, is justified. And just because they helped you doesn't mean that it can make your life hell. It just doesn't work that way. People should just be nice to be nice. It's called, and here's a fancy word for it, by the way, it's just being called kind. So all it is, just being kind. Just being kind to be kind. That's all. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading what I've got down here. Can be shy with you, but it can be shy with you and long time, but you're not good. Oh yeah. So the thing is, what can happen is if someone's been negative with you in such a long time, and it's one of the reasons why people suffer from social anxiety or any anxiety of any kind, or depression, or if people have such low self-esteem. One of the reasons is that other people have made them feel that way. It may not be warranted, it may not be true, and I can almost guarantee you it won't be true. If you've got such low self-esteem because there's been so many people that's been taking a piss out of you, and when I say that, I mean there can be times when that person honestly just means it as a joke, and it may be the case that you two have that kind of relationship where the both of you think that taking a piss out of you might just be the way that you communicate and it might show affection. But you know what, and there are people I am actually talking to here for myself as well, but I'm also doing it to the people who's watching this. It can get to the point where enough is enough. I mean, okay, sometimes you might think you're a twat, you're an arsehole, you're thick, you're stupid, and all of that. And okay, there might be context to it sometimes, but when it's gone on so long and it goes on so much in your life, it's not okay. And okay, it might be all right every so often, again within context, but sometimes you just want to say, look here, just lay off a bit. And it's one of those things that makes you doubt yourself and it makes you feel really low. And all it does is really piss you off every time they say it. So all you got to say to that person, again, I have those people in my life as well, not just one specific person, there's a few people. And I've got to learn that lesson myself too. So I'm not trying to say do as I say, not as I do. I do want to be able to do it myself. It's just really difficult, but not necessarily, as I just said, to say that all this stuff isn't valid, because it really is, and I've seen it happen. Just everyone has to deal with this kind of thing in their own way. So if you have that kind of person in your life, if you really, really like them, if you love them, or whoever, look, it's going to do the world a good to say, look here, calm it down a bit, back off. And if they do, then they're a good friend, they're a good lover, they're a good family, whatever. If they don't, then say, look, if you don't back off and you give a couple of, I'd say, do the 3 strike rule. Once, okay, fine, it might take them back a bit. Twice to reinforce it. But if it's a third time, say, look here, I've already told you a couple of times, I don't like the way this is, and I don't like who you are by doing this anymore, so just back off. And then that might actually get them to think about what they're doing. They might apologize to you, they might reassess things and whatever. So, yeah, it's worth doing. Just got to find a way of doing it. And it could just be a case of, like, pull them aside and say, okay, look, you told us jokes. I know we got this running thing. I know that we've acted like this over the years, but I'm trying to better myself, and I'm getting to the point where, you know, language like this and this kind of mentality, I really, really am trying my best to cut it off in my life. So if you can just, back off a bit. I'm not saying that I don't like you for doing it, but just, calm it down. And then the second time might be, look, I've asked this to you before and you're still doing it. Um, Please, I beg you, I really do not like this. And if it doesn't stop now, I really am going to have to try, and I really do need to take it further. And this is regardless of how long you know the person, how well you know a person. They don't stop after that second time. They got it coming. Honestly, they really, really do. So if then they don't stop, even if it's slightly less, but if they don't stop, when you clearly said that this is upsetting you, say, look here, I've said this twice now. What's going on? And if they don't give a good enough answer, and I mean a really good answer, they could say, okay, my life is in ruins. I'm really sorry. This is something that I do all the time. I'm so sorry. I am trying, and let's see if we can just mellow it down. I won't promise and blah, blah, blah. Unless it's something like that, then fine. But if it's like, oh, just grow up or something like that, then, you know, that's someone you really don't need in your life. And honestly, you'll be all the better for it. I've said goodbye to those type of people in my life. I've blocked them on Facebook, I blocked them on Twitter and Instagram and various other things. And you know what? Life is just so much better if we don't have the negativity to think about. Okay. Yeah, and also it's also their way of controlling you, because okay, they may have their own things that's going on in their life. They really, really must do. One of the things about bullies is that they've got to have something going on that might be causing them to act out or whatever, that might be negatively affecting you. And that's not okay. But you need to be able to break that control that you have over them and just basically say, even if you've done the whole 3 steps thing, and say, okay, hold your hand up. I just don't care anymore. Do what you like. You're not getting a reaction from me. I'm just going to blank you. That's all you really need to do. Short of, fisticuffs, but that really shouldn't be the case. So I'm looking away here, but I am actually reading the next thing I want to say here. Yeah. So your mental state could really help with more positive stuff in your life than that. So the thing is as well, your mental state, your mental health can't really be impeded on by someone else's actions, by someone else's mental state. And I know, there's a lot of you guys that's probably watching this that might feel I'm the agony aunt and stuff like that. But as much as people might need you, and they really genuinely might need you, there comes a point where you just got to say no. Like, and I know 1 or 2 people might be watching this um, that might relate to this and what I've had to do in my life, and those people might be watching. But if people are such a drag on you, and if there's such okay, there's people that I've gone out with on nights out to like rock bars and stuff, that you go out and you're just waiting for that moment where they start crying and going on about their boyfriend and going on about this, that, and the other. And it happens every single time. And then it just gets to the point saying, look, I love you, but I can't deal with this. I need to be able to go out and not be able to think. I need to be able to let go from my own mental health. And the fact that I'm just out there and I'm just waiting for that woe is me moment. It's like I cannot relax. And that's not necessarily such a bad thing to say. And it might do something for them as well, because it might get them to say, okay, I'm being an idiot around here. And it has actually happened. And that person that or people that I'm talking about now, they've actually turned around and got their life together to a point, and it's actually good now. And by saying no and saying back off, you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping others too. But mainly, there comes a point where you got to say no and look after yourself. Because if you don't look after yourself, how can you look after other people if that's what you want to do? Yeah, so what I've got down here is you can't be bound by another person's needs or wants. Just need to look at the time here. Okay, so doing good. You're the best? Okay. And another phrase I want to throw at you. So, with this situation that we're in, with all this isolation, and even when this isolation ends, and if you're not coping well or anything, you gotta say to yourself this: you are doing the best with what you have. Just look at it this way: you are still here. You are still here. You're still fighting. So, regardless of how bad that you think you have it, even if you're having those thoughts right now, best thing you can say to yourself, okay, it's been a year now since this thing started. It really has been a year. And I'm still here, so I must be doing something right. So instead of taking that step back and think, what have I done to get me this far? Let's keep doing it. And just go day by day. You don't have to think about a month, a year down the line, or you don't even have to think about anyone else. You don't have to think about how would this doing something stupid to myself affect others. You just need to think, okay, whatever I've been doing over the past year or however long it's been, what do I need to get through today? And then when you go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, what do I need to do today? And then before you know it, it'll be a week, be a month, it'll be a year, and so forth. Obviously, you can't just go every day if it's really that bad, thinking, what do I need to do with this day? But what I'm saying is, it's a start. And then you can start, once you get into that kind of routine, start cleaning countertops, get a pet. Oh my God. When I got my pet, my rabbit, his name's Ghost. You'll see him in my video called A Rabbit's Tale. Subscribe, and there's going to be more in the future. And I mentioned him in From Anxiety to Now in that playlist. He pretty much saved my life. Now, my wife saved my life as well. But if I didn't have him when I did, because it was really low, I was so much in debt that I had like £100 to work with for a month. No other support, no other benefits, and the place I was in, there was no really one there. It was just a mess. And to have that company, even though you have a pet where they don't actually talk back, it's having that company and having that other entity that that life completely and utterly depends on you. And if I ever lost him, God knows what might happen. But honestly, get yourself a pet. If you can, get yourself a pet, because it will teach you responsibility. It will have something else that relies on you, and you'll have a reason for keep going on. And not to get too serious right now, but yeah, the benefits would be more than you can imagine. It really would be. So that's that. Okay, so going on from what I was going on about earlier. If you have a person in your life that is trying to control you, giving you advice and stuff, but is holding you to benefit them, being the dominance, and you just feel making you to feel really bad about wanting to do all the stuff that you want to do away from them, because that's what it got to with me. If I wanted to walk away and actually go and have lunch or something with someone else, as opposed to go with him and listen to him rant on, I wouldn't live it down. So even though someone is giving you some good stuff, you don't owe them anything. You can thank them. You can give them the basic human respect of thanking them for, I don't know, even if it's your mother, for example. You know who I'm talking about, and you know who you are. Even if it's your mother, just because they give birth to you, or whether it's a friend that's helped you through various stuff or anything else, just because they brought you up or anything like that, doesn't excuse the bad things that might do to you right now. They could have saved your life. Okay, let's put it this way. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, but you don't expect that same hand to start slapping you round the face for taking that food, do you? Let that sink in. I'll give you a moment while I read this. Let's put it this way. When you get to a point where someone is taking over your life so much, then let's put it this way. Think of a box and you put two balloons in them. So those two balloons represent yourself and the other person. If you're blowing at a good rate and that other person is blowing a lot more in there, they're going to take a lot more room in that box than you. Now that's not okay, because they're going to take a lot more. And where you want a sufficient amount of room, it's supposed to be 50-50, you're having that room that is equal to you taken away from you. So what you need to be able to do is, in a productive way, be able to blow enough air to make that air even. Now, one of the things which I might suggest, and I'm going to cover this in a video that's going to be coming out maybe over the next few weeks. It's about a book by Dale Carnegie, and it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it basically tells you how to not impede on people, and it tells you how to win arguments without actually winning. And what that basically means is, okay, let them blow their hot air. You hold your head high and not impede on their dignity or anything, and don't let them impede on your dignity. So I'll be covering that soon. But if you haven't heard of that book, again, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I really suggest buying that book, and I'll be putting a link in one of my future videos. Okay. What I want to be working on right now is getting my laptop up to specs. I've just charged it today, and it's going slower than snail still. So hopefully within the next few months to a year, I'll be getting a better laptop, and I'll be able to share links and stuff and share screens with on the page, which it doesn't let me do with the tablet that I'm using. And when I say tablet, let's just see. This is the view that I'm using from my tablet right now. And the view that I'm doing right now, that's my phone view. So what I want to be able to do is use my phone as the camera, and in time get an actual camera, and use my laptop as the StreamYard stream, and my tablet as getting links up and stuff, so I can actually share things with you, because honestly, I'll be much more effective. So anyway, it's been about an hour, getting a bit tired now. Is there anyone who's watching this that want to share something that they feel that is funny, joke? If they want to feel they want to share something that might add to the conversation, this is your chance right now. Just put it in the comments, and I'll read it out. And if you don't want me to read it out, then I'll put it into a kind of video that kind of reflects upon the subject. But does anyone that want to say anything right now? Now's your chance. Again, this positivity stream, this is something that I want everyone to take advantage of. I want you to be able to share stuff, tell a joke, even if you want a shoulder to cry on, and I'll be able to, offer some advice or look things up and be able to tell you something from that. This isn't just me talking to people. I want this to be an interaction here. And I know that I may not get the interaction I really need with 45 subscribers. As much as I really do appreciate the people who have subscribed to this channel, it's something that I want to grow and eventually be to such a point that I'm helping a lot of people. But what I will say is, if I'm helping just one person right now, my job is done. Honestly, that is my primary goal. Okay, I want to go full time at some point, but I want to be able to use my life experiences to help people. Anyway, so all I gotta say right now is, again, if you want to take part of the Doctor Who competition, the video is within my channel. It's called Doctor Who competition gift card, £20, something or other like that. Just watch that video. It's not very long. It's like 5 minutes, and it will tell you how to get on it. It will give you a link to the form that you need to use to be able to take part. And the draw for that will be on the 28th of March, 2021, which will be this month, assuming that you're watching this video around about the time that it comes out. And you'll be in with a chance to win a £20 gift voucher, and just have that little bit more money to play around with, or that thing on Amazon that you wanted to buy for a while, but you thought, actually, I'll wait till next month because I can't quite afford it this month. every little bit helps. To be quite honest with you, right now at the making of this video, I think I've only got about 6 or 7 responses. So the more I get, you've actually got a really good chance of winning right now. So I really would get on it. Really, really would. So again, I'm going to see if I can leave it there. If you enjoyed what I've been talking about, if you've got any value from this content, if you've got anything from what I've said today, I'd really love it if you consider liking this live stream, liking this video, liking any video that I made. Check out everything that I've done if anything helps you in any live streams or any videos. If you want to have further advice on how to improve your mental state, improve your mental health, regardless of if you've got anxiety, depression, or if you're really just feeling down, or you want a bit of pick me up or anything, just subscribe to my channel for any further tips. Got loads of them, so there's a lot more coming. There's a current playlist which I got on right now. I'll be releasing the 8th video soon. I couldn't do it today because I was working on editing a video that I just brought out about how to cope with the restrictions easing in the current pandemic. But sometime during this week, it will be coming out properly, the 8th edition, and it will be about, I think, earplugs, which are the best earplugs to use to get to sleep. And it's a 10-part series, so subscribe if you want to keep following that, and subscribe again if you want to have more tips on how to help your mental health, and if you want to reap the benefits of my experience, even if I don't. And also, as I say, comments to leave any other feedback. If you have any questions on the live stream that you just watched now, if you have any questions about any other videos, please do it. It really, really does mean the world to me, and it means the world to all of your favorite content creators, because it helps support the channel and it helps grow the channel. And without stuff like that, with stuff like that, it helps the algorithm, it helps people get noticed, helps people make money, and in doing that, it helps people like myself and other content creators bring you the content that you love, that you might need, and the content you enjoy. So please do that. Please. Really does mean the world. Because, as I say on all of my videos, at the end of the day, it gets dark. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.